Hi, I'm Shayna. Welcome back to episode 9 of our 4-week program to understand our emotions better. On this episode, we will be learning more about fear. It might be tempting to think that we can get rid of our negative thoughts about ourselves or about someone else. But if it was that easy to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts, we would have done that a long time ago. It is actually quite exhausting to have to do that. Therefore, for this episode, it's more about stepping back and seeing our thoughts with a little bit more clarity, distance, and perspective. Let's talk about fear. What is fear? It is best defined as an emotional response to a known or definite threat. Now, I want you to just think about something that scares you. For example, your teacher who tells you that he doesn't like your work and calls you to the principal office, or maybe a cockroach. If you can take a while to imagine that, you realize your heart starts to beat faster, and yes, just by imagining it can trigger your fear, whether it's real or imaginary, because your brain cannot differentiate between those two. And when you feel this fear, most of the time it causes you to act and deal with it. For example, if you're afraid of cockroaches, you will probably run and scream when you see one. Other times, if no action is taken, the body remains in a state of readiness to act. This means that if you see one, you are probably stuck in an enclosed area or feeling extremely jumpy and ready to sprint a good 400 meters. This is because fear is an attempt to keep you safe by responding to danger, and when the body's fight or flight response is triggered, like when you feel your heart beating so quickly and sweating, yes, this means that your thinking, feeling and behavior are all affected. And because you experience this fear, you automatically focus on avoiding the threat. However, fear might be something that helps us and keeps us safe. For example, you're running a sprint and you see a cockroach or a giant thing that is chasing after you. Therefore, you run faster. So it may not always be a bad thing. Maybe you are afraid of failing your exams because your parents might scold you or punish you for not doing well. Therefore, you study harder. Fear helps you learn something. Sometimes it's not necessarily always that bad. While some people may feel extremely negative towards fear and avoid the feeling at all costs, some of us experience pleasure from feeling the fear and seek it out, like watching a horror movie. All of us experience different things in life and learn from our feelings differently, so it is important to develop a capacity for compassion to respect, feel sympathetic toward, and patiently reassure someone who is afraid of something that we are not afraid of facing. We simply have to allow them to cope with it at their own time and own pace. Now I would like you to pause this video and scan this QR code to complete the reflection. And we are done! That is all for today's lesson. Hope you enjoyed a simple cover on fear. And if you are interested in coping with fear, we will be covering more of that in episode 12. Bye!